Hey, what's going on, everyone? Greg from Believe in Self Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, go check out my previous videos. All right, so all you that have been here for a while, a couple of episodes in, today I want to talk about the journey. So this episode is more about the process. So if you've seen some of my previous episodes, you'll see that a lot has changed. You'll notice that my background has changed. I went from having just a picture in the background, I did paint that myself, to having shelves, to seeing like the holes in the wall, some progress with adding a little bit of different things that I'm kind of into. And it's all about the process, the journey as they call it. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how important it is. And when you start to realize that the journey is so important, because usually what people see is that they may just see you at the end, or they may just see you starting, and they don't know all the hardships and everything that you're going through. And then they see you at the end. It's kind of like, oh, wow, like, oh, I see you're doing well and you have all these things and, you know, it must be nice. That's one thing I hate hearing from people. Oh, it must be nice, not knowing the struggles and everything that you've gone through to get to that point. So one of the things I wanted to touch on was not everyone's going to understand your struggle and your journey, and they're not going to care. And the only person that really cares is you, and maybe the people who are going through this journey and this struggle with you. They may understand and care. And if you were to tell them like, oh, I went through this and I went through that, why would they care? They only see what the results were from your struggle and your process. So while the journey may be important for us, it may not be important to others. So why is the journey important? The journey is important because we learn things as we tend to move forward. Whether we hit obstacles or whether we achieve goals, we learn from everything. Some obstacles that I faced during my journey was during Hurricane Sandy. I actually owned a gym in Oceanside, New York. And when Hurricane Sandy came, I think we owned the gym only a few months. And we were about to go into black. And that means, you know, you're going to actually make money that year. You know, I believe going green is, yeah, we're about to hit the black that year. And when Hurricane Sandy hit, it put us out of business for, I believe, almost 2 years. And from what I understand right now, you know, Oceanside still isn't, a lot of it isn't recovered from Hurricane Sandy. And that was back in 2012. And that put us in a huge detriment, having to replace the equipment, having to fix the location. We're not getting any income from the area because no one's really around, because everything was so decimated with water. I believe in certain places there were like 12 feet of water. So that was a huge obstacle that we had to deal with. And then we ended up like taking out like a disaster relief loan, and that, I want to say probably like 3/4 of that went to paying whatever we owed on the gym, paying, you know, the rent and stuff like that. So it put us in a huge bind for a few years to kind of get through that. And that was a huge obstacle, you know, that I had to deal with, also with my business partners. So we ended up getting rid of that business and got into the towing business soon after that. But that was a huge obstacle that we had to deal with. And I never would have thought that a business of mine that I would have had would have gotten decimated so bad. And it's not until you're in the that you're actually like damn, like this is really messed up. Like, you know, what are we gonna do? And you start to realize like there were a lot of things that we could have did to kind of prevent some of the damage from happening. But, you know, inevitably water, when it gets into something, it gets into something. You can't, there's nothing you can do. We had about 4 feet of raw sewage in the gym. So that destroyed all of our treadmills, all electronics, computers, everything you could think of was done. By the time we were able to get back into the location, most of the stuff was rusted. You couldn't really touch anything. It was black mold everywhere. So it was a huge mess. So that was a huge learning experience. And that was a road bump that, like I said before, like I thought I would never hit. And we realized that, one, we didn't have enough insurance. We had a lot of insurance, but we sure ain't have enough insurance. And two, we ain't have enough insurance. So just learning from that experience made me realize, you know, how important insurance was at that time. Also, another thing I learned from that whole experience was getting into a business I had no clue about. I had no clue about the gym industry. When I purchased the gym, you know, it was done in good faith, and we were led to believe, we had an attorney at the time, and we were led to believe that the gym actually did better than what was actually projected. So on paper, it looked like the gym was doing great. We had all these members and it was making its money. But when we actually closed the deal and we got in there, a lot of the members were fake, or people were being comped. For some reason, they had all these free memberships floating around, you know, somebody's girlfriend, somebody's brother, whatever the case may be. It was just a lot of fluff. So there was a lot of cleanup that had to go on inside the gym to make sure that it was running efficiently. And like I said before, we were on our way into the black, and you know, you can't take everything by face value. So make sure that you have a competent attorney, or if you're competent yourself, you understand and know contract law. I think that's one thing that's really big, especially dealing with business or just contracts in general. You know how to read a contract and understand what the language means. If you can see over my shoulder right here, I have the Black's Law Dictionary. I would advise everyone to go out and get yourself a copy. They do have the digital download of the copy of the Black's Law Dictionary. What I'll actually do is I'll actually put a link down below and you can get a digital copy for yourself. It's about, I want to say like maybe 1,200 pages, but it's essential that you have this so you know and understand business law and just in general. Like if you're looking at words, you know, you could use that. But so during this whole ordeal, or during this whole journey, I've always had the mindset of I've always wanted to make sure that I was positive in everything that I did, and I was focused, I was clear-minded, I was decisive. So while going through this whole journey, I always stayed positive. I knew that this wouldn't last for long, but I didn't realize it would take like 2 years. But you know, it was a stressful time, but I was always positive and had the great outlook of, you know, this isn't gonna last forever. We're gonna get through this. And sometimes I felt like, damn, like this is taking a really long time, but you know, I stuck it out and had a positive mindset. I had to get down there and start cleaning, and as you know, I was in there cleaning up everything. I had the vision like, okay, you know, we can now take this tragedy and turn it into triumph somehow by moving things around, kind of downsizing. It was a 14,000 square foot facility. It was a really big, and you know, maybe we could downsize or bring in more different types of programs. I think CrossFit was something that was big, that was coming into mainstream gyms and things like that. So we wanted to bring somebody in to do that. But you know, the cards just didn't fall the way that we thought it would fall. I wasn't upset that we weren't able to open. I was just like, damn, like, you know, we invested a lot of money into this. I believe from that one investment, I probably lost over $500,000, or if not more than that. I want to say maybe $250,000 that we had invested into that one facility. A lot of people don't know that, but it does, you know, take a lot of money to actually open and run a gym. And, you know, I think it wasn't even like the money aspect of it. It was like, you know, that was such a huge opportunity we weren't able to make the best out of. And, you know, I kept a positive mindset because now once I was done with that chapter of everything, I was able to move into something else. You know, I got back into the whole towing industry, and you know, that was a learning experience. I took a lot of knowledge from that and I applied it to opening up the towing company, and just kind of wanted to make sure I took my time with everything. But you know, I was you know, things happen. And like I said, you know, I was on my journey to finding my purpose. And the biggest lesson from buying a gym, operating and running it, and that journey was that you need to make sure that you have trusted people on your side. You know, whether it's on the legal side, you can trust your attorney. You know, you can trust the people that work for you, your business partners, you can trust them. Not saying that I didn't trust mine, but you know, I went in with my parents. So they were my business partners. So just make sure you have like a whole trusting team all around you, and everybody supports and everyone knows their job and their roles, and everyone executes. And just make sure that you understand your vision and how you want things to be ran. Everybody has to be on the same page, including your staff. And for people who've never thought about going into entrepreneurship, and you know, you've always had that urge, like, you know, I want to do my own thing, do it. Get out there, do it. Fail. Once you fail, you get your ass up and you learn some more. All right, because you can't fail if you don't get out there and try. It's when you quit that it doesn't count. I'm sorry, it's when you quit and now you're just like, all right, you know, I tried it for a little bit and it didn't work. I had about 5 businesses before I got to this one. 5. They all did better than each one, but I didn't quit. I tried something, it didn't work. All right, you know, I'll put some money into it. It's not working. I'm going to go into something else. It wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And eventually you're going to find what it is you're supposed to be doing. That's why I talk about the journey and the process. If you don't try things, you're never going to figure out if you like it or if that's what you're supposed to be doing. Getting out there and trying. And you know what I keep saying, trying. Failure, the quicker you fail, the quicker you're going to get to success. Doesn't make sense, but just the faster you fail, the faster you will get to success. And I'm starting to understand that more and more every day that I grind, and I'm up early in the morning. I'm up at 4 o'clock and I'm doing work, and I'm creating content, and I'm putting things together. I'm on phone calls with different people, different companies, doing consults. So it's all a grind. Once you figure out what it is, everything is going to come so natural. It's going to flow. So just get out there and try. Try something. If you're interested in something, go out there and try it. If you're interested in a course, go out there, take that course, learn how to do something, and apply what you learn to now create your own content from that. Whether it's an ebook, a coloring book, some type of book, a pencil, ruler, paper, I don't know. Get out there and do it. I'm just talking right now. I created this book using keys, tools, and techniques during my recovery to help me learn to walk, use my hand, and to get through over 35 surgeries. I created this ebook using the keys, tools, and techniques to learn how to walk, to learn how to use my hands again, and have the mindset to get through over 35 surgeries. Not only is this offer for the 7 keys to unlocking an unbreakable mindset, I'm also throwing in unbreakable motivation. This is a $70 offer that you can get today for $47. Make sure you go get yourself a copy of the book. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this with 2 people. Just 2 people. All right. So I'll check you on the next episode. Peace.